Hi everyone, I am Claudia Lopez. Today is with me Medardo Garcia. He is teacher here in Isnos Huila. Thank you, teacher, for accepting my invitation for this interview. So, question number one is, what do you think about culture?
I know there aren't better cultures, but they are different. Let's see. Culture includes knowledge, human values, belief, art, morals, law, custom, behaviors, and artifacts, habits acquired by man as a member of society to such an extent that it is possible to transmit it from generation to generation through learning.
Question number two. What is the influence of culture in the process of a foreign language process?
Often in second language classrooms, a little bit or no attention is given by the teacher to identity of the student. A student enters to the classroom with his own identity and culture. Also, you know this. This is where the culture in general include the purpose of this study is to test the influences of culture and identity on second language based on different studies supporting this fact. This study will seek responses to the following questions. What instructional design and administrative steps should the school take to enhance the English learner? What are the existing evidence that the process of learning a second language affects the students in one community? What instructional strategies are more effective for students? For that reason, it depends on many factors like motivation to produce language, support at home, linguistic knowledge, learning environment, teaching strategies, comprehensible input, student personality, age, comfort in the country or residence.
Question number three. How do you involve culture in the strategies you use in your English classes? Could you give me real examples?
Okay, the first strategy is repetition and memorize complete sentences, repeat and memorize idioms and useful expressions, listening English songs, practicing tongue twisters and rhythms by groups, saying poetry to reach a high language level. Another strategies are make friends with native speakers of English, start a phrase book to record new vocabulary, share accommodation with local students or with an English speaking family, practice with locals or native speakers to correct each other and practice explaining new words or discussing what you don't understand. Have an English hour for each night to practice the language skills. Read aloud, especially from newspaper, magazines, novels, stories for 30 minutes a day. Apply technology to help the practice. There are a host of apps, websites, films and videos that can help you immerse yourself in English. Smartphones and iPads give you access to employ the time to learn English. Watch English language movies. If you watch DVDs, select English subtitles to help you follow what is being said. Watch TV shows to imitate English accents. Find internet sites that have vocabulary, grammar, and speaking resources. Attempt crossword puzzles and word games in daily newspaper. Sing along to some favorite songs on radio, television, and so on. Try some apps on English language. They are a great way to get vocabulary, grammar, and culture tips. Use communication technology in English. Try chatting with a friend in English. Join a club or society such as those who can community colleagues and local community clubs. Outside your classes, be the first to say hello to classmates when you see them around. Uh, Buy a newspaper each morning and listening to the radio. Buy online. Talk to the people around you. Ask people about their culture and values and share habits of foods, national holidays, weddings, and funerals, and so on.
Question number 4. What do you consider are the most important elements to success in the second language learning?
Language teaching and learning is a complex process. Teachers, on the other hand, must be teaching with play, happiness, excellent habits, and responsibility, to such an extent motivation and human values. They must be recognized students like human beings, persons which need to learn and educate for the life. These attitudes and motivation are crucial in language learning success.
Question number 5. What is the relationship between a textbook and culture in a language learning?
Many textbooks play an important role in teaching and learning, especially in foreign language classroom. It has been given for the importance of culture teaching through language learning that without textbooks, English teachers would find it difficult to teach a cultural content to their students, as textbooks supply this need without transporting the students to the native speaker's country. The presence of cultural content in course books is also important for the development of students' intercultural communicative competence. Many textbooks play an important role in teaching and learning, especially in foreign language classroom. It has been given for the importance of culture teaching through language learning that without textbooks, English teachers would find it difficult to teach a cultural content to their students, as textbooks supply this need without transporting the students to the native speaker's country. The presence of cultural content in course books is also important for the development of students' intercultural communicative competence.
Last one. Based on your experience as an English teacher, how important is learning about culture?
I have many experience in this case, for example, in the region of Esnos. Also includes that Isnos was declared World Heritage in 1995. We have Ecological Park Alto de los Ídolos, the Ecological Park Alto de las Piedras, some beauty natures like Bordones Fall and Mortiños Fall and others. The richness of these cultures is very important that UNESCO declare World Heritage. I have many experience with students because students go there to these places to learn English, and also they practice with the statues, with the monticles, and the other touristic sites. But I think the relationship between language and culture is complex one. Language competence does not only include the knowledge of grammatical principles and sentence construction, but also knowledge of the norms that link language to social and cognitive context. Many teachers and students seem to lose sight of the fact that knowledge of grammatical systems has to be completed with culture-specific meanings. The structure of a language can determine the way in which speakers of language view the world. The meanings of a particular language can also represent the culture of a particular social group. It is impossible to understand a culture without having some form of understanding of its language. When people learn another language, it helps them to learn about the world. Learning a language is therefore learning the behavior of a given society and its cultural custom. Language is a product of the thoughts and behavior of a society. I know this. In my experience, I have, in this case, many relations with tourists from another countries, and they speak about the culture